What do you do with the beautiful waxed amaryllis that you may have gotten during Christmas, or you might have gotten some of the, spring colors? What do you do with them when they finish blooming? Now, the samples I have here are from the company Bloommaker, and they produce very large amaryllis bulbs. So this amaryllis here has bloomed once, twice. This is its third bloom. Now keep in mind, as with most bulbs like daffodils, hyacinths, tulips, the bigger the bulb, the better the bloom, and the more bloom you will see. So if you purchase any of these amaryllis, try to get them in this large size. Now this one's finished blooming. Now what some people do as they bloom, they just, remove off the flowers like this. When it finishes blooming, they normally send up foliage. This stem is finished, so I'm going to come in here. Be very careful with any tools, especially things that are like a razor. I have made mistakes before, and it can be very painful, so be careful. So we're going to take this other bulb that finished maybe blooming about a month or two ago, and if you can by hand, you might be able to peel the wax. Now keep in mind, when this bulb was waxed, it was probably closer to this size, and as it has been blooming, it uses the moisture and the nutrients out of the bloom. So this bulb right here is ready to plant, and we're going to plant in a second here. But if you have one like this, you might need to take something like a scissors. Usually the bulbs are wrapped in a balloon or cellophane first, and then after that they are dipped in the wax. And as you see here, there is the cellophane. Amaryllis, generally speaking, don't like a lot of water. So if you ever get one like this from Bloommaker, no water. Water will injure it. So this one's ready to pot. This one here, you can see an old stem right there and an old stem here. And this has got its third stem, and it's just finishing flowering. And then I'm going to come in like this and remove this portion. And then if I do use a razor, I'm going to be very careful. And please be careful. And then peel. And the cellophane is here. And this one is ready to pop. So all you have to do, I love Costa Maine potting soil. I don't like to put them in a container that is too big. Even a container a little smaller than this will be all right. Put a little bit of soil in the bottom. Nestle the bulb so you still see the neck. And you might want to pre-moisten the soil. Sometimes if you leave a bag open, it dries. And as soon as you water it, it's going to start producing roots. And these leaves are going to start, they'll probably get this big. You can also take this bulb and put it right out in the garden. Now, we're in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. I'm Mark Viette. We get cold here. So they probably won't survive outdoors unless you cover them with blankets or a heavy mulch. But in places like Richmond or places like Philadelphia, Williamsburg, coast in North Carolina, South Carolina, they're probably going to come back year after year after year in the garden. And that's all you do. Then from this point on, once you've potted it, you water it, it's going to produce leaves. Probably the end of September, you're going to take this bulb, shake it out of the container, maybe trim the roots a little bit, and you're going to cut the foliage off, and you let it dry off for maybe 2 months. Then you're going to pot it back up in your container, and it should bloom within 4 to 6 weeks of when you repot them. I'm Mark Viette. I'm in the garden.